Welcome back, my little subscribers. I haven't been on in a while because I moved and I have a mess. And this is my temporary studio here, and it's a mess. But I finally got down to it, and I wanted to make this video because it's a new lens, and I'm talking about the Samyang / Rokinon 85mm 1.4, and it's autofocus for Sony. And I'm excited because I've been wanting an 85 1.4, but I didn't want to pay $1,800 for the G Master. So I'm going to show you some pictures on my screen. I'll give you some of my thoughts on it, who this lens is probably for, autofocus performance, sharpness, colors, all the good stuff. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to try not to hit the 20-minute mark. Like I've been doing lately. So I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. So let's get straight into it. I'm going to show you my screen. Let's do this. Yeah. What is going on, my fellow subscribers? Welcome back to my screen. Let's get right into it. So, first thoughts. I wanted to do some street photography and some more performance photography that can count as action. And yeah, just whatever I could find. And I went to Old Town to see what interesting scenes I could find. I will be using this lens soon for a photo shoot, but in the meantime, I think this gave me a really good idea of how this lens performs. I tried it here and there throughout the week, but this day, these photos I'm going to show you, I really put it more to the test. I shot it at high speed, continuous, continuous AF, IAF. I used as many features as I usually do, playing with the autofocus, playing with my settings, and yeah, I think I have a pretty good feeling of what this lens works. I mean, how it works. All right, let's get into it. This is the first shot I took, more of like a landscapey, documentary style shot. This is an old school, but yeah, it was just to show the scenery. This is at 1.4. Initial showing you the sharpness. Looks pretty good, huh? Right off the bat, this lens is freaking sharp. When I got it and I tested it, I was really impressed because I did not expect it to be this sharp. I've had the Sony 85 1.8 and I got rid of it because I wanted a 1.4. So I was really comparing this to the 85 1.8. None at all really to the G Master because that's way out of this league. And even if it is better, it's not going to be 2.5 times better, which is what that lens costs more. So after actually watching other reviews where people did compare with the G Master sharpness or quality, they're very close. It's hard to tell the difference. You have to really look in this deep maybe to notice a difference. But to me, off the bat, colors, sharpness, this thing is really good. All right, next picture. This is another landscapey shot. I wanted to get buildings, and of course it's an 85. I had to step pretty far back for this. My focus point was around here, 1.4. Excellent sharpness. This lens is perfect sharpness. I have no complaints on the sharpness. This is more for the colors, and obviously I edited all my images. I'm not going to show you raw because they're going to be flat. There's no point in that. Again, sharpness. This is 1.4, and I'm like 100 feet away. Great sharpness. Here is a tour guide. They have tour guides around Old Town. They spread out and they tell you about the history of the area, how everything's set up, some of the buildings that have been there for a long time. It's pretty cool if you're in San Diego or visiting. Check out Old Town. They have great food, great tours, a lot of history. Not all of it is great history. I mean, it's a lot of the conquest stuff, but it's neat to see buildings still up that are old. And we don't have a lot of that because everything's gotten destroyed or, you know, just history stuff. It's cool. So here I got autofocus. It wouldn't catch on her eye, but that's only because I was pretty far away. I didn't want to be too intrusive on the tour, but yet I nailed it. She's really sharp. And the autofocus, the bokeh, it looks great to me. Some people may overanalyze this, but I think it looks great, and I'm happy with this shot. And again, I mean, she wasn't posing for me. I just went for it, and I captured the right moment. I just waited for it, for that moment where she's pointing out things. All right. I liked when I was walking around, when I'm doing street style photography, I'm just walking around trying to see a scene. I'm thinking, what would I print? What would I like to see displayed to show this place? And I really liked how this store looked from the park view, which is pretty far off from the building. But I love how the trees draw you into this middle point. So my focus point was right here. Again, this is at 1.4. And I took this shot so you could see the foreground elements out of focus. Very good transition. Even the background, very nice. I like this shot. Okay, here I saw this guy. It sounds creepy. Street photography, okay? It's not creepy, it's street photography. I just went for it. I like these trees. I was trying to going for like a reveal style, kind of like in the previous one. And here it works. And he's pretty far. Sharpness is excellent. That's pretty much what I wanted to do here. All right. So in Old Town, there's a bigger area. It's a museum called the Estudio House, Casa de Estudio. So it's like a giant mansion style. And they have the rooms on display of how these people lived. The dining area, the recreational music area, paintings. So that's this guy. I think this is the guy. I'm not sure. But I took a picture of the painting. I wanted to see how... Sorry. I wanted to see how well the colors would resolve, or whatever that's called. Color rendition. There you go. Ha! My bad. And I like it. You can see the texture of the painting. This lens is sharp, like I said. I mean, you're going to get all the details. The contrast is excellent. Obviously, you can boost it in Lightroom. Okay, I like this scene. This was a piano from who knows what year. It's old. I like it in black and white, though. Yeah, this is at 1.4, focus spot right here. And you can see the fall off is really quick. We only have this little depth of field. Everything else is out of focus. Pretty nice for a 1.4. Here is a scene of a kid's room with a toy. And I thought the toy is interesting. Again, you see the shallow depth of field. It's like this wide. I enjoyed the 85. I haven't shot with an 85 for a while. I'm usually at a 35, 50, or 200. You just jump over there. So 85 really made me feel creative. This lens was comfortable to hold in the hand. It's a little chunkier than the 85-1.8 from Sony, but it's really light. It feels good in the hand. It feels secured. It doesn't feel flimsy. It's made of metal. I like the handling. I give that 10 out of 10. Here's a dining scene, molcajete, where they crush the chili or whatever they're doing. Again, look at this detail right here. It's excellent. This is like the mailing room. Excellent detail. A cool thing about this shot, it was at 1/8 of a second. And this is thanks to the stabilization in the A7 III. But yeah, I thought it was cool that I was at 1/8. This is a dining table area. Focus point was around here. This lens renders well. I'm very happy with it. To summarize it, I don't know where I'm at. All right, this is my favorite shot. I saw this tour guide closing the door, ready to head out and give a tour, and I said to myself, this looks like a photo-worthy moment that I would print out because it looks so artistic with the old-fashioned dressing, the building architecture, and then the tree drawing you in. I love it. Here's it in black and white, give it more filmish look, but I do like the color more. Having the 85 helped me envision this. When I put it up to my eye, it was easy to see what I was going to get beforehand. I know the 85 length well, even though I don't use it as much. It's a lens I remember using in the past, and it was very natural to use this Samyang / Rokinon. It's the same thing. Here's another building. I like this place a lot. They have pretty good smelling stuff. All right, here I wanted to show you foreground, background, bokeh, and focus area. So I focused on one or the other. Here we're on the plants. Sharpness is excellent. I like the fall off. And then here the reverse. And I like this as well. I have no complaints. Someone was going to perform soon. I didn't get to see him perform, so I just took this shot. Very crispy details. This is going to be a very nice lens to use. Here I wanted to see the fall off at 1.4. So focus points right here. And I also wanted to test the colors. And they look great. I don't see anything very distracting. Some would say this is distracting. I mean, you can easily remove that, not a big deal. But other than that, it's a great shot. Here it is at 5.6. You can see the difference, 1.4, 5.6. It's still pretty shallow, but it's not as shallow as 1.4, which is what you get this lens for. There's a Canon. It's not aiming at them, okay? It just looks like that. Kids love writing this thing. You'll see a kid writing here, here, and then the other is like on the side. They really have fun with this thing. Okay, this is the action part. So I'm going to use this lens for portraits, for weddings. One thing I want you to keep in mind, this lens, what is it made for? What's the purpose of this lens? I feel like many times we're judging a lens on its ability to do anything, absolutely anything. Sport, portrait, street photography, macro, you name it, all kinds of photography. We have to remember lenses are made with specific purposes. Their characteristics are unique for a certain purpose. This lens, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not a sport lens. It's not fast. It's a portrait lens. It's made for you to take your time, get a shot, and you're going to be happy with the sharpness, the color, the bokeh. You're not going to be disappointed. IAF, excellent. However, if you're going to judge it by sport capabilities, you're not going to like it. So before I show you these images, I shot 112 shots of this folklorico performance. And this is a local group. Just to mention them really quick, I was able to get their business card. They're Ballet Folklorico Real de San Diego. They're from Chula Vista. They had great performance and dancers. I became their fan. So I'm going to be sharing these pictures with them so they can have them. Because I didn't see anyone else taking pictures for them. What I'm trying to say is I wanted to show its performance. I shot an autofocus continuous, high-speed drive. So I was shooting super fast shots, just using the A7 III's 10 frames per second. And out of 112, I got exactly 50%, something like that. 51% of my shots were in focus. And these dancers are moving fast. I shot at a high shutter speed, everything at 1.4. So out of that test, I can tell you right now, this lens is not a sport lens. Do not buy it if you shoot sports. If you're going to use it, it will work. And I'm not saying it doesn't work, but it has its limitations, and you got to understand the lens and the camera you're using it on so that you can get good shots. So these are my favorite ones. I'm not going to include 100 shots. So here we go. This one, obviously I'm aiming for her. You can see excellent sharpness. I think I was at 0.02 of a second. All of these were pretty much there. These are all at 1.4. You can see here it's a little bit off. I have her like around here, and her face is a little bit off focus, but it's not too bad because this lady is a little bit more in focus on that side. This one we got the face. We've got the colors, the details of the dresses, out of focus flowers. Everything just looks really good to me. I was about 30 feet away, maybe more. And the separation is still excellent. This is a super crop. This picture was a little bit bigger and I zoomed in because I wanted to focus on her. And you'll see it's a little bit soft, but it's acceptable. I would say print it out, you wouldn't really notice. But the focus point is actually around her neck. That's why. But from this distance or printed, it's going to look good. They got the smaller ones performing. These were really sharp too. You see all the dress details, the colors, the makeup details, everything. Here I caught them taking a little break, enjoying watching the little ones perform while they waited for their turn. Neat little fire. Super sharp. So you see, this is more of a portrait stance because they're not moving that much. I'm not saying you can't use this lens with people that are moving, but you're just not going to have any issues at all in a portrait scenario. But still, look, you're getting really good shots. I love the details here. This one might be a little bit too bright. All right, that's all I have. I mean, I took 118. I'm not going to show you every single one. And out of the half that I did get in focus, these were my favorite. I mean, I was spraying the frames per second. I don't usually do that, but I wanted to see how much it would stick on them with the autofocus. And I don't usually shoot in high speed. I usually do a single shot, one at a time, and I time them. And I found that with this lens, I actually got more keepers when I was doing that. Instead of 10 frames per second, I actually missed a lot more compared to following them, half pressing the shutter with a single shot, taking my time, waiting for the right moment. The last shots were taken like that, like this one, this one, this one, this one. All the last ones were done like that because I was like, I'm missing quite a few. So I changed my strategy. So it comes down to your settings. It comes down to your style. Like I was timing my shots after a while and they came out better. Okay, so overall, sharpness is excellent. Bokeh is excellent. Colors look great. Autofocus is excellent. Judging it by a portrait stance, portrait circumstances, even in street photography, when I'm getting these type of shots, autofocus is excellent. I mean, these things aren't really moving. So obviously you should nail the focus if they're not moving. But scenes like the ones I showed you with the dancers, you can get those shots. I got them. I just didn't get every single shot. But for $1,000+ more, it's not worth it. You know? This lens is meant to be for portraits. And that's what it's good at. So I can't be a hater and be like, this lens sucks. Video. Okay, some people are going to be curious about video. It's good. I'm not always shooting video, but from the short test I did, I don't have a sample. It was trash. It was just like filming my cat. It's good. I wouldn't say it's professional level. So don't depend on this lens for video unless you're doing like an interview style where you don't need to move a focus point. If you're shooting events, weddings, portraits, this lens is going to serve you well, and it's a great deal. I'm telling you, for $100 more than the 85-1.8 from Sony, and $300 to $500, I think, less than the Sigma, which is freaking huge. That was my other choice, but I'm tired of carrying these giant lenses. This one was a joy to use because of the weight, the thickness was easy to handle. The lens is chunky, but it's not bad. It feels good in the hand, so it's not hard to use. Comparing it to the G Master, I mean, these are our 4 options now for 85 millimeters at 1.4 or faster, or 1.8 or faster, I mean. And this lens does not disappoint me. I mean, if I had the G Master, maybe I wouldn't have, the only thing that I would have improved would have been these shots. I wouldn't have missed as much. I still got keepers though. And for the portraits, it doesn't make a difference. These shots, I could have gotten all of this with the G Master. This one, I could have gotten it with the G Master. There's really such a fine line right now because the lenses are so good, technology is good, that pricing is competitive. You have options now. So if you buy this, I don't think you'll be disappointed if you're using it for portraits, weddings, events. Nothing too fast-paced. Like, I mean, this was probably not the best case to use this lens for these dancers, but it works. If you want to do it, if you need to do it, and you time your shot, you're gonna get keepers. So that's all I have to say and share with you. I'm gonna keep testing it. I have a really good impression though. I don't think I can go back to 85-1.8 because I love 1.4. I'm not gonna get the G Master, and I don't want the Sigma 1.4. So I think this is a keeper. And for people out there that are on a budget and have felt restricted to use the 85mm as a creative focal length, you can really get very nice creative fine art style shots with this lens. So I recommend it. This is a good lens. I actually like it better than the 85-1.8. And after using a Sigma 105 1.4, I mean the 105 1.4, yeah, it's a great lens, but for the size and intrusiveness that it gives, I just wouldn't carry it at a wedding and at an event. This lens is the best of both worlds in terms of size, speed, and focal length, and pricing. So check it out, buy it, use it, return it within 30 days if you don't like it, rent it, buy it used. There's already used ones. I don't know what the hell that happens. All right, thanks for watching. I'll have another video soon. I'm getting a little bit more settled in, but I do have a Canon EOS R review coming up. There's a couple of things I want to go over. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Or you'll see me next time. I can't see you.